So it's all about looking at all these logs, because many things thrives growing from that. There's actually a tiny mushroom the size of my pinky. I might bring out the camera. There's not much to work with when we are speaking of mushrooms. Getting down low, and I actually tried a handheld manual focusing on this mushroom right here. Just a burst of shots, and there was some movements in the camera, but I will try to stitch it back together in Luminar and see if it works. I try to hold my hand as steady as I can. Frame of the composition. And yeah, do the burst like this. So I just tried two different variations of handheld focus stacking, and cross my fingers, it works in the after process. I actually used the tripod to stabilize my hands, because I bring a tripod that can't get all the way down on the ground. But I find I don't really need to use it. In most cases I prefer to do it handheld anyway. I know I can really only get better. I can't get worse than this. So yeah, here is the shot. It's a particular beautiful mushroom, this. It got some spores on top of its cap. And there's some ferns behind it, so I was playing with the thought of actually trying out the Helios for this shot. So yeah, why not? I got the time for it. Yeah, so welcome to the dust. Those macro shots did it for me. That Helios was a total bummer again. I think the mushroom is way too small. I think the Helios probably work better with larger subjects. Small details like this, I think the macro is superb. If you have slightly bigger subjects, then you can bring out the Helios. If you have any experience with it, please comment and give me some tips. That curiosity, I think, is very good for your photography to grow. It's all about trying out and learn from that. So yeah, before I switched over to Laowa, I found a couple mushrooms yet again. To make it easier, I balanced my camera on these pads that I'm actually sitting on. Fairly easy composition where I place the log in the bottom of my composition, and I have the woodland as a background with these beautiful purple pink mushrooms. So yeah, very straightforward composition. Nothing complicated. F4. Another switch up again, and my Laowa is attached to the camera. I'm really in on the focus stacking today, and I use everything possible to get as steady as I can, like using my rain pants as a tripod, and then when I got my composition, I do a series of stack. Oh, okay. So yeah, manual handheld focus stacking this, and I try to get as steady as I can by resting my hand in the ground, and I also in this case use my rain pants as a extra stability to rest the camera on. And I think that works wonders when you are shooting subjects fairly low on the ground. I quite like these mushrooms from looking back on my camera. It looks promising, this. I will just see if I can find something else now. I can't be stuck too long on one subject like this. I just spot some white capped mushroom right behind me in the forest, and I was thinking I was going to go just a little bit further up this pathway, and I almost stumbled on these clusters of mushrooms in the path. And I really think that's a great scene for the Helios, because there's yeah, almost like my hand in the size. There's some beautiful foreground mixed in with it, and there's a canopy and a path leading us into the background. So yeah, I think that's a perfect scenario for the Helios. So let's bring that out and find the composition for it. I think it's a shame it's only working from this side. I tried to shoot down the path this way, but it doesn't look good at all. They are somewhat damaged from that opposite side. I think it's just a shame that one of these mushrooms is a little bit damaged. It would have been so much better without that, because I can't really go on this side because it doesn't look as good as when I include a damaged one. So I think I just have to work with that. So I see immediately that I want to avoid this background. So by going down, we shut that out, and we focus on the mushrooms and the greeneries in the scene. I think that looks best. Push it out to the side a little like this. Time for another change, I think. Back to the macro. Yeah, I don't want to perfect this. There's 2 eaten mushrooms there, and it kind of destroys the image a little bit, because everything else is looking great. It could have been a fantastic photo, this, I think. It's time for a snack. Some chocolate milk and chocolate. Organic chocolate with caramel and sea salts. I will not throw this in the nature. I just put it there. I had zero doubt about finding any mushrooms, but I keep finding more and more. I always bring my own garbage back home to throw it in the bin. I don't support throwing anything out in the nature, so that's my best tip I can give anyone watching my videos. You see, I found the white-capped mushroom just there, and very often there are some more species around close to this, because that's probably a place where this mushroom thrive. But that one was growing underneath a spruce tree, so it's not exactly a pleasant place to work with a subject. So yeah, wow. Of course, it's no, they are everywhere, these mushrooms. I'll show you. I just flip you around. You see on this trunk there's many mushrooms, and inside of here and on here there's several. So I got a dilemma. Should I work with all these mushrooms? I think I worked with some similar kind, or should I go back to the new white cap? And I think I want to go to the white cap, even though there's a lot of huge potential in this log. On the way I found a log along the pathway, of course, and then I spot this tiny mushroom right there on this little branch. Look at the size of that. I already got my Laowa out, and I will try to get my tripod up and running with this shot. Zooming in on a tiny little subject like this is not easy because of the shakes, and then you magnify 2 times in to make a small object even appear larger. The shakes get insane. It's almost impossible. Sometimes I try to shoot it handheld and it gets me so frustrated. I think I can use my tripod here and get pretty close to this mushroom. And let's see what we can do with it. Yeah, I think this will work. And it grows from a stick, and I think I watched a YouTuber photograph something similar, and she took that stick and placed it on the trunk like I did. So yeah, I can pluck it up and show it to you. Look how tiny it is. I did actually 2 versions of this mushroom on the stick, because I think it looks better after I moved it to a slightly darker moss. So yeah, it's a better background. And since my lens is somewhat focus breathing, when you are focus stacking, it might not be optimal to focus stack. But I will try and see how the results is when I edit. And I will show it to you, regardless how the quality is. Do you know that feeling when you first take out your camera just to scout and test out some shots, and you start to feel like it's a great find, and then you work a little bit more with your scene, and then you get frustrated because you can't really put that puzzle together. At the end I found a composition with the Helios. So this is somewhat a busy scene, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I like it, so I will capture this. And one nice thing about these mushrooms, they turn purple pink in this light. They are more brownish, but yeah, they look more ethereal with the purple look, so I will stick to that. It's in camera too, so I'm on full format camera, so I use crop mode to get slightly deeper in the scene, because I only have 58mm and I want to get a little bit closer to my subjects and get rid of the distractions around. And when I'm filming you get to see that distractions, but the final image is more like this. Unfortunately I have to put the main star slightly to the left of the other mushroom, I think, composition wise, and that gives me slightly out of focus mushroom. I can't get them both in focus. I want that dreamy ethereal look with f2.8. So yeah, I decided to land on this composition and do it like that. I still think it looks great. You can tell it's a mushroom. I'm not feeling the Helios in this scenario, so I will switch to my Laowa. And I think that is a lens more suited for this situation that I'm in now. I think that will create better images. So I framed up another slightly different composition with the same two mushrooms. There's a bug on top of each of them, and yeah, it's a simple f2.8 1/15 of a second, ISO 250. Yeah, I'm not really sure if the bugs are moving, but it looks like they are standing quite still, so I just went for a slow shutter speed here. There's no doubt that I'm early looking for that mushrooms. It's late August, but because of the dry summer, there's nothing. I'm in such an area with great potential. It's so many logs, fallen logs, and a really moist and yeah, good place to be. But there's not a lot of mushrooms growing yet. But yeah, I found a few. So I'm pretty satisfied with that, but I want more. Might as well just try to get a frame of it because it's interesting. Maybe someone of you guys knows what it is. Let me know in the comment section. So I decided to just show you guys. I brought a tripod because I need a aperture of f8 or something to get more sharp because of the depth of field, and I don't want to focus stack this one. It's just for showing. There's a snail actually going across this yellow slimes. Yeah, I just want to show you guys, and a quick shot on this. was not really feeling this subject, but I think it was looking a little bit interesting. What caught my eye was the top of the caps. They resemble pancakes to me, so maybe that was the thing that grabbed my attention. At least I framed up something like this in camera, and there's a shadow beneath the cap that I don't think look very nice. I tried lighting, but it looks terrible in the back of the camera. So I did a manual focusing, stacking a few images to get most of the mushroom sharp. But yeah, sometimes I just frame up a subject even though I know it's not a good photo. But it's the process that I love. So I tried, and maybe I should also try to work from above, looking down on the subject, because that was the first thing that grabbed my attention here. Sometimes it's a nice scene looking down, and you want to photograph that. I just wanted to tell you the story about the pancake I found in the woodlands. It's not a great photo, it's terrible to be honest. But yeah, here it is. I decided to actually switch back to the Helios once again. In this case, I really think the Helios are the best choice of lens for this. There's only one left thing to say. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed watching something else than fields and flowers. There's less colors here in the woodlands, but there's definitely some mystic and some fantasy theme going on. But at least I was out doing what I love. Yeah, I'm tired. My knees are hurting, my belly are empty, and I'm so starving going out today without breakfast. I think I've been in the woodland for 6 hours now, so it's about time to get home, and I will bring a pizza on the way. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and until next time, out.